Hey there. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most important financial questions anyone ever faces. When should you claim Social Security? And we're going to challenge a piece of advice that for years has been treated like absolute gospel.
So this is it, the big one. It's a question that millions of Americans have to answer for themselves. Do you grab the money as soon as you possibly can, or do you wait it out, hoping for a bigger check down the road?
You've heard it a million times, right? The conventional wisdom has always been super clear. Financial advisors, articles, your neighbor, they've all hammered home the exact same point. Wait until you're 70. That's how you get the biggest monthly payment. And, on paper, that makes a lot of sense.
But what if that simple, one-size-fits-all advice completely misses the point? What if it ignores the things that actually matter in your life? What if waiting is actually the bigger gamble? Let's really dig in here.
Okay, first things first. We've got to get one thing straight. This is not just a math problem. This isn't something you can just solve on a spreadsheet. No, this is a life calculation. It's about weighing your health, your freedom, and what you actually want your retirement to look like.
I mean, listen to this. This perspective is all about reality. It's the argument for a guaranteed present instead of just hoping for a better future. Let's be honest, the go-go years of retirement, the years you can travel and really live it up, are usually in your 60s, not your 80s. This is about living fully in those years.
Of course, there is a very powerful counter-argument, and it's all about security. For some people, especially if longevity runs in their family, waiting just gives them peace of mind. The goal here is simple: create a bigger financial safety net to make sure they don't run out of money if they live into their 90s.
And then you have this third angle, and this one is so important. It's not just about living now versus saving for later. It's about control. It's about getting your hands on your money sooner, so you have the flexibility and the options that you just don't have while you're waiting around. So, we've touched on the human side of things, but I know what you're thinking. What about the cold, hard numbers? Well, that whole wait longer strategy is built on a very specific set of calculations, so let's put that math to the test.
The entire debate really boils down to this one idea: the break-even age. Think of it like a finish line in a race. If you decide to wait until 70, you have to live long enough to cross this line just to make the wait worth it.
And this is where the gamble really becomes crystal clear. The break-even age is right around 80. Now look at the average life expectancy for someone who's already 65. You're basically making a bet that you are going to live longer than average just to get back to zero. Statistically speaking, waiting is a losing bet for a huge number of people. Okay, and this is the part of the equation where the conventional math just totally falls apart. Most of the advice you hear completely ignores what's called opportunity cost. What if you took that money at 62 and didn't just spend it, but you put it to work? What if you invested it?
Well, here's what happens. If you invest your early benefits and get a pretty conservative 7% annual return, and that's actually below the historical stock market average, the new break-even age just skyrockets to 115. 115! Think about that. The so-called advantage of waiting is pretty much wiped out by the simple power of compound interest.
So, yeah, the math is looking a little shaky. But honestly, it goes way beyond the numbers. Waiting until you're 70 exposes you to a whole bunch of real-world risks that almost nobody ever talks about.
For the wait till 70 strategy to work out, it relies on a whole bunch of things going perfectly right. It assumes you're going to stay healthy enough to enjoy the money. It assumes you'll live an extra long life. It assumes you won't get tired or burned out from working longer. And it assumes the rules of the game won't change. That is a lot of ifs.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. Delaying your benefits is a strategy for a fantasy world where everything goes according to plan. But taking them at 62, that's a strategy for the messy, unpredictable world that we all actually live in. It's about getting some certainty in very uncertain times.
And hey, let's not forget about the political risk. This isn't some conspiracy theory. The Social Security Administration itself is warning that there could be benefit cuts if Congress doesn't do something. So why would you wait 8 long years just to risk getting a smaller check than you were promised? Taking it early helps protect you from that uncertainty.
So let's bring this all back to what really matters most at the end of the day: your life. This isn't just a financial decision, it's a choice that will shape some of the most valuable years you have. The trade-offs are deeply, deeply personal.
When you look at it this way, you can really see the two paths laid out. On one side, you've got immediate freedom, you've got less stress, and you have the ability to enjoy your healthiest retirement years.
On the other side, you're hoping for a better financial future, sure, but it comes at the cost of working longer, more stress, and a huge gamble on your health.
Now let's bust a big myth real quick. A lot of people think if you claim at 62 and you're still working, you lose your benefits. That is just not true. Some benefits might be temporarily held back, but that money is not gone forever. It's an adjustment, not a penalty. Your future check is actually recalculated to pay you back.
So when you put all these pieces together, when you look at the flawed math, the hidden risks, and the really powerful human benefits, a pretty clear picture starts to form.
Taking benefits at 62 isn't a sign of impatience. For a lot of people, it's the most logical, rational, and protective choice you can make. It gives you income when you can actually enjoy it. It takes the pressure off your investments, it minimizes political risk, and most importantly, it puts you back in the driver's seat of your own life.
And maybe this is the most important takeaway of all. We really need to rethink what Social Security is. It's not some grand prize you win for making it to 70. It's insurance. It's an insurance policy that you paid for with every single paycheck, and you should use that insurance when it most improves your life.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Forget the spreadsheets, forget the numbers for just a second, and ask yourself this very simple, very human question. What would you regret more, taking the money a little early or waiting too long to live the life you actually want? The answer to that question might be all the advice you really need.